Good evening. I'm Carolyn Casson, President CEO of Michigan Women Forward, MWF as we call ourselves now. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 14th annual Women Up and Pitch business plan and pitch competition here in Southeast Michigan. These competitions are held throughout the state during February and March. But back in September, over 200 women submitted a business concept paper with their application to be in this competition tonight. With the help of volunteer reviewers, we narrowed it down to 50 finalists across the state, 10 of whom are going to be in tonight's competition in the Southeast Michigan region. Before we jump into the pitches, I want to take a moment for you to meet our esteemed judges and for them to introduce themselves. First, we have Dawn Taluski. She is an MWF Board of Trustees member, and her day job is Business Development and Client Services Manager for the Michigan CFO Associates. Dawn, welcome, and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you, Carolyn, and really looking forward to being a judge this evening. I'm also formally a 3-year pitch contest coach, so I'm really looking forward and honored to being a judge this evening. As Carolyn mentioned, I have been on the board for 6 years, and it's been a pure pleasure. Thank you.
So you know what it means to get ready for one of these pitch competitions.
Absolutely. A lot of work goes into it.
As does our second judge that understands this well. His name is Aaron Jackson, and he has been a pitch judge. He's so good at this. We ask him back year after year after year. So welcome, Aaron. We're really excited to have you here tonight. Tell us a thing or two about yourself that I don't already know. Can you take yourself off mute? You want to figure that out while I introduce our third judge? And then, oh, you got it. Good. Go. Say a word or two about yourself. Uh-oh. Back on mute. Well, our third judge is Emily Sargent. Now, Emily was a MWF Women to Watch a couple of years ago. But her day job is operating engineer of the Ilge Sports and Entertainment Center at LCA. It's really a very exciting job, and we don't have time to hear all about it, but tell us a thing or two that we should know about that work.
It's an amazing job. We have 2 ice arenas that we keep. One we keep year round. The other one we have 9 months. We also have a powerhouse in which we run. So it's a very complicated and amazing place. It's never a boring day.
Well, we're really excited to have you. Thanks so much. And we are watching you. So, Erin, did you figure out how to get yourself off mute? So we can hear from you? Well, you'll figure it out before comes time to ask questions. So I want to thank the judges for being here with us tonight. But you have already been hard at work. You've read each of the finalists' business plans, which accounts for about 60% of the final score. And in less than a minute, we're going to be hearing the finalists' pitches, which accounts for 40% of the score. Each finalist is going to have exactly 3 minutes to do their pitch and up to 5 minutes for the judges to ask them questions. Are you ready? Thumbs up if you're ready. All right, let's get started, and good luck, everybody.
All right, thank you so much, Carolyn, and thank you very much for the beautiful intro. I'll let you go, and we'll be able to meet up with you a little later when we're actually deciding on who the winners will be for tonight. So as Carolyn said, we have 10 amazing finalists that you're going to hear from tonight. We're going to start with our startup businesses, and then we'll have a short break before we move into the established businesses. The finalists are all competing for the top 3 prizes that are going to be awarded to both categories. It's $10,000 for first place, $5,000 for second, and $2,500 for third, with $500 going to all of the non-placing finalists tonight because they've all worked so hard and need to support their businesses. It's commonly asked by our audience, which I'm sure is going on in the chat right now. The esteemed Audience Choice Award is going to happen after the very last pitch. A QR code will go on the screen and you guys will be able to vote online. So please show your excitement in the chat for everyone watching online and for everyone watching live. Welcome our first finalist, Tarani Clark, owner of The Heart Next Door. Hi, Tarani, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Super excited.
Absolutely. We are super happy to have you here, and great start. I hope you set us off with a big bang. So we have your slides ready. You know the rules, and I'll explain it for everyone else, that you have 3 minutes to pitch. I will be keeping track of the timer. The clock will start as soon as you begin. So go ahead, take a deep breath, collect yourself, take a moment before you start. The floor is yours, and good luck.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Tarani, and I'm the founder of The Heart Next Door. Imagine this. A local Detroit mom goes into the hospital to have her baby. She's put under anesthesia for a C-section. Baby is delivered safely, but mom doesn't wake up, not for nearly 24 hours. And when she does, she's wearing a heart monitor and a catheter. She's had massive blood transfusions, a full hysterectomy, and worst of all, she's 2 buildings away from her newborn daughter in the NICU and won't be able to hold her for another 2 days. Well, that mom was me. That baby is my daughter, Riel, and our story is the reason that I'm here. Maternal mortality in the US is the highest of any developed nation. In fact, in Detroit, it's 3 times higher than the national average. But the real problem is nearly 80% of all maternal-related deaths are preventable. You see, when I woke up alive but disoriented, I wasn't just recovering from surgery, because maternal risk doesn't disappear in the hospital. It accumulates in the days, weeks, and months between care when warning signs are missed, and mothers are left to manage alone. So I built the solution that I wish that I had. The Heart Next Door app is an AI-powered village for maternal health that puts care and community at the fingertips of new and expecting moms between appointments and beyond the hospital, while equipping the providers that serve them with the data needed to intervene so fewer moms and babies lose their lives. The maternal and infant health tech market is a $46 billion global opportunity. We generate revenue through accessible subscriptions for moms with sponsored memberships funded by providers. And here's how it works. When the moms sign up, Nia, their digital doula, personalizes their journey, creating a connected village around each mom and keeping her care team, support system, and providers aligned between appointments. And when a mom logs symptoms aligned with CDC's maternal warning signs, her care team receives an immediate alert so everyone knows what's happening before it becomes an emergency. We've spent the last year immersed in the maternal health landscape. Our work has been featured in media, conferences, and research symposiums, recognized by TechTown Black Tech Saturdays and Michigan Women Forward, among other organizations, and most importantly, built with and for community partners that serve moms. Your support today will power our Village Builder Catalyst program, accelerating adoption and ensuring more mothers are supported before a crisis occurs. The Heart Next Door isn't just the solution I wish that I had, it's the solution mothers need. Because medicine saved my life, but finding continuity through care and community is what helped me live afterward. And when we support the whole mother before, during, and after pregnancy, we save lives. Thank you.
All right, Tarani, thank you so much. Do you want to guess how much time you had remaining? How close you were to 3 minutes?
10 seconds?
You had 12 seconds,
Oh!
so you did really good. You stayed right under that time. You fit perfectly. Congratulations, and thank you for starting us off on such a good foot.
Thank you.
Now, the next part will be open to questions from the judges, where they can ask any questions of you. Judges, Tarani, I'm going to time you guys for 5 minutes so that we can fit everything in our schedule. It's 5 minutes for asking a question, 5 minutes for an answer. Feel free to start. Let's start with Dawn.
Good evening, and I don't have a question, but I have a comment for you. This is a very selfless commitment, and I just say kudos to you to stand up and do something about it, clearly from your personal experience, but I want to encourage you to keep going with this focus. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice job.
Thank you.
I just have a question. Hi. Number one, I think this is just amazing. I think it's a wonderful, great, very needed idea. As a mother, I get it. 100%. I'm curious, I'm sure you have other mothers and people within the community. Are people starting to hear about this idea? Are they starting to, I'm just curious what people think. I imagine they're all really excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. It was really, really important to me to do this with community. So we have really been partnering like with a lot of maternal health organizations, actually just from hearing my own personal story. That's how it started. And I serve on the board of quite a few organizations across Detroit that are invested in maternal health. And so I've had a chance to share with them and they've shared with moms. So yeah, everyone's been very, very supportive. We did nearly 100 customer discovery interviews with everyone from moms to doulas to providers. And the feedback has just been affirming. It's sad, that there's a need for something like this, that moms don't have the full support that they need right now. But it makes me very optimistic that we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Dawn. Like, keep this up. This is a much needed void that needs to be filled. And thank you for filling it. So.
Thank you.
All right. It looks like Aaron has a little bit of technical issue. Hang on, he's back in the studio. Aaron, are you able to hear us? Is the sound working okay?
Yes.
Perfect, then we can hear you. Okay,
Okay.
This is great. Well, I hope you're able to catch some of the pitch or have any notes or a question that you'd love to give.
Hey, Gabe, why don't you come right back to me? I'm just
sure.
Getting ready.
No problem. Get situated.
Yeah.
So we still have plenty of time. Dawn, Emily, do you guys have another question or a comment? Here, you guys, looks like you're set. All right. Well, Aaron, I know you're still working on it. We'll be able to get it fixed, and I'll help on the side. Tierney, thank you so much. You did such an amazing job. We'll let you go so we can keep moving and get to the next finalist. You can go back into that Zoom room and leave StreamYard. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Thank you again. All right. Our next guest is Felicia Ellison from Ellison Innovations. Hi, Felicia. Thank you so much for joining us. How do you feel?
I am extremely nervous. I feel like I'm going to win $1 million or something. How nervous
Of course,
I am. But
it's
here
the same
for the
thing
show.
that I've been saying. Nerves are normal. Don't worry.
Hopefully I can get through it without stumbling over my words.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
All right. So here are your slides. As I've said, I will start the timer as soon as you begin. Okay. At this point, the floor is entirely yours. Take a deep breath, settle your nerves, get your mind ready. And whenever you are ready, good luck.
Okay, thank you. All right, every year, nearly 600,000 people go missing. Most are found, but less than 1% become cases that haunt families and communities forever. And that's why I created the Fire Patch, a wearable emergency alert patch meant to signal trusted contacts like close friends and family whenever you feel afraid or vulnerable. Hi, everyone. I'm Felicia Ellison with Ellison Innovations, and with my partner Aaron's 20 years of hardware, software, and technical expertise, we're building a device that provides fast, silent alerts for the rarest but most dangerous situations, reinventing personal safety. This unique device uses unique tap gestures to signal different types of attention to trusted contacts via wireless connection, just like a phone. It's small, quiet, and intentionally hidden with fingerprint activation, so only you know where it is and only you can manipulate it. Your trusted contacts receive your live location and a specific alert on their phone based on the tap pattern you activated on the patch. Imagine Dina in Ypsi, Michigan. In her early 20s, she was abducted by an ex-boyfriend, locked in the trunk of a car, and unfortunately later found dead in Dearborn. Or Katie, a teenager from Grand Rapids, missing from her family for about 1 year before being found alive in downtown Detroit, a victim of sex trafficking. These aren't unheard of or distant tragedies. These are real Michigan girls. These are everyday lives like mine and yours. A device like this could have been given to Dina or Katie as a way to silently alert her family and let them know that she was in danger sooner, without letting her attacker know, and with something as small as a tap pattern. Because panic changes how people react, we built in frantic tapping, which is exactly how it sounds when someone taps rapidly without a pattern. We recognize that instinctive reaction as distress. Then we trigger our highest level alert, which is third-party emergency services. We're pre-revenue, but we've assembled experienced engineers, validated demand through user surveys of about 100 people, and built a growing wait list of volunteers ready to test the product. We'll retail at $150 and project selling 500 units in year one for about $75,000 in revenue, or roughly $100,000 in revenue if we include sales from accessories. Our ask of $10,000 will go towards the non-provisional patent, professional schematics for the prototype, additional user surveys, and developing a website. Our product targets the exact moment where current technology fails, a discrete, immediate, and actionable alert. It's designed to help find loved ones faster with reliability and discretion for moments when people can't speak, can't reach their phone, or feel completely helpless. My goal, to reframe safety from being about fear to being about freedom. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
All right, Felicia, really amazing product. It's so important for sure. And a great job on your pitch. Can you guess how close you were to that 3-minute mark?
Yes, 10 seconds off.
Actually, 7 seconds, so a little less than that, but that's
I've practiced
perfect.
it a million times, so I know exactly to the last second what I have left.
Well, we can tell you did great. A really good job. So
Thank
now
you.
we will give it up to the judges to take about 5 minutes total. Are allowed to ask you any questions. You feel free to answer.
Okay.
We'll let you guys get started. And this time, let's start with Emily.
Hey, Felicia. It was amazing. You did a great job. This is a phenomenal product. You saw a need and you selflessly put yourself in there to create this, which I think is phenomenal. I really think it's an excellent idea. Just out of curiosity for the people in the audience, and I know this might be a bit of a longer answer, but how did you get started? How did you just start this one day? I mean, where was like your jumping off point, I guess, for other people who are interested in creating a business?
So it wasn't that long ago. Actually, my 30th birthday had just passed and I wanted to go on a vacation for myself, well, by myself, but I was afraid that I would be one of those cases where, somebody goes to Mexico and then they don't come back. So I started looking for a device myself that included something that was quiet and wasn't so bulky, but I couldn't find it. So then I started writing down, okay, what am I looking for? And then everything that a different product did not have, I kind of just put it on a paper and organized it to make sense. And then I came up with this idea. I reached out to engineers to see if it was something that I just concocted in my head or if it was something that could actually happen. And a lot of engineers confirmed it. And so I haven't looked back since.
Nice. Yeah. Keep it up. It's amazing. It's a good product and people absolutely need it. So
Thank you.
Great job.
I'll jump in. Felicia, you did a great job presenting.
Thank you.
Great job. And I would agree with what Emily said. This is such an important issue, really, that we need to make sure there's products and ideas to be able to help keep people safe. And that's what you're doing. Question that I have for you is, what obstacles do you see with possible competitors?
So the major thing is being able to create the technology that's just as reliable as other competitors. However, what I've noticed is that a lot of people, when they use like an AirTag or Birdie, some people use that, I haven't found a device that combines, discretion with something that works and the technology works when you don't have a phone or something that nobody else can see or something that you can hide in your bag. And so what I'm trying to get at is a lot of our competitors, they don't have all of that into one device, if that makes sense. Like I've looked myself, for example, Birdie is something that's loud. Everybody can see it. If you were actually taken, you wouldn't want something that an attacker knows that you have. Or with an AirTag, that doesn't really work if you don't have your phone with you or if the person next to you also doesn't have, connectivity to something. But my device has a SIM card in it, so it works whether you have a phone and then nobody knows that it's there. And so as far as other competitors, I just haven't found this device specifically.
Great. Thank you.
hmm I hope that answers your question. I rambled a bit.
It's thank you.
No problem. Aaron, I see your mouth is moving, but I can't hear you.
Hi,
Okay.
hi, Felicia. First off, thank you for taking the initiative.
No
To
problem.
you and your partner. I had one question. I was interested in the revenue and long-term sustainability of the
Mhm.
business. Right now, at this stage, if you could predict like which part of the business would be the biggest driving force out of the device subscriptions or even institutional partnerships, which one would you predict?
I would probably say the institutions because this is like a safety device and it's still tech. So I think the hardest part for taking off would be gaining that trust from users because a lot of people they know that the technology is there or that they've never heard of me or my company before. So why wouldn't they go with Apple over mine? So if we get on the board with institutions, I would gain that trust from other users or other students or whomever to use the device, and then we just branch off from there. So that might be the biggest obstacle.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Felicia. We have about 20 seconds left if anyone wants to make a very quick comment. Otherwise, we are all set. And thank you again for your pitch. You did amazing. You can go ahead and leave StreamYard and go back to the Zoom with the other finalists.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. All right. Our next guests are Courtney Larvadane and Christina Hawkins from Regily. Hi, you two. How are you doing?
Oh, thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. We know you guys have been involved with Pitch in the past. It's such a pleasure to see you again. How are you two both feeling tonight?
Good. A little nervous, but great.
Of course. Well, like I've been saying, nerves are normal. Just before we let you begin, I just want to let everyone know in the audience, our chat function wasn't working for a moment. If you reload the stream, you should see the chat now on the side of the bar and get involved. We have a MW staff, Julia, involved who will also be communicating with you. Make some noise for our finalists. They've been doing great so far, and we're only getting started. All right, now, Courtney and Christina, as you guys know how this works, we are going to time you for 3 minutes. I will start the clock as soon as you begin. So go ahead, take a deep breath. Whenever you are ready, the floor is yours. Good luck.
When I say the word skincare, most of you think about the face. But did you know 97% of our skin is below the chin? I'm Christian Hawkins, co-founder and CEO of Regily. As an Army veteran, regimen and routine shaped my days. So it was no different when it came to my skincare routine. While stationed in the harsh deserts of Afghanistan, the extreme sun, the dry air, and the heavily treated water severely damaged my skin. Skincare wasn't a luxury, it was truly survival. And I built Regily with that same discipline and structure I learned while in the military.
I'm Courtney Larvadane, a busy working mom and co-founder and CMO of Regily. Every winter, my hands would crack and burn, making the season miserable and embarrassing. But then I met Christian, who challenged me to care for my entire body, not just my face. That shift changed my skin and my confidence, and we knew other women needed this too. Regily is a mission-driven, clean luxury body care brand built to care for the other 97% of skin from neck to toe.
Our products work like a mission-ready unit. Cleansers and exfoliants break the skin down, while toners and moisturizers build it back up. As a licensed esthetician, I created our products just like battle buddies, working in duos and trios to improve results. Every formula is freshly made in the USA in small batches using clean ingredients and essential oils, and is free of sulfates, parabens, and synthetic fragrances.
The US body care market will exceed $22 billion in 2026, but most brands still focus almost entirely on the face. 97% of our skin is being ignored. Busy women are overwhelmed with options, and most body care products don't address real skincare concerns.
Regily solves this with step-by-step, high-performance body care regimens that help women reclaim their skin, their time, and their confidence. Since our soft launch in 2024, Originally has generated over $60,000 in revenue. We've been featured in 2 news stations, placed in 4th in an international pitch competition, and featured in the United Way Women of Influence, and secure activations with top wellness brands like Lululemon and Club Pilates in Detroit, LA, and Miami.
We nurture and maintain those new customer relationships through targeted digital marketing campaigns and our self-love, self-care tour, which includes spa activations, pop-ups, and community-based wellness education.
To support Scare, we've built a network of brand ambassadors and affiliates who have even stopped at our Self-Love, Self-Care tour to bring our mission to life with authenticity and trust.
We're here today asking for the $10,000 grand prize to expand our 2026 Self-Love, Self-Care tour, building a unit of body care enthusiasts and new customers. Invest in elevated retail displays to enhance our competitive advantage, and optimize our e-commerce experience to increase conversion rates and provide education.
Will you join us in caring for the other 97%, because we're stronger when we work
Together.
All right, great job, guys. You just were able to finish right as it went over that 3-minute timer. I was just about to interrupt you guys, so right on the dot. You did perfect. Great job, and congratulations on finishing your pitch. Now, the next part, as you know, we'll set the timer for just 5 minutes and allow our judges to begin to ask questions. For the order of the judges asking questions, let's start with Aaron, then go to Dawn, and then go to Emily. I will let you guys begin. Aaron, you're still muted.
Oh, Gabe, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Excellent.
Can't hear you on your end, but I'm assuming you all can hear me.
Yes.
But first off, great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Presentation and pitch. I wanted to start off with a question about the revenue mix and scalability. I saw that you all have had a lot of success so far with pop-ups. For thinking about long-term sustainability, like what has to happen from your perspective, like for e-commerce to overtake that model?
Yes, thank you for asking that, Aaron. When we first launched, we didn't even open with e-com until I think maybe 4 months after we launched our first product line. And so we quickly realized that a lot has to go into building that e-com machine, more than just a well-functioning website. We have to be able to get our email subscribers up. We're currently, I think, at about 3,000 email subscribers, which is really great for us as a new brand. And so continuing to grow that number, and also continuing to encourage repeat purchases, because a lot of the customers who we meet in person go on to continue their purchasing online. So knowing that we've got those different funnels, and then to continue growing the e-com, we really want to focus more of our time and energy on our affiliate marketing, because we've got these great affiliates who are sending traffic. And we all know about the TikTokification of shopping. So really focusing on how we can use social media and AI, frankly, as a search engine tool to bring people into the brand.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies. So your initial statement, 70% of our skin is below the head, yet we focus so much on our face, right? That really caught my attention. And it's just, of course, so true. So I love how you're focusing not just on your face, but it's body care for your entire body. So I really love where your focus is going, because as you know, you have a lot of competition in this space. I really like that you're using organic products. I saw a lot of that in your business plan. And I'm also very impressed by the as Erin said, you had a lot of pop-ups and you've had a lot of success. Tying together that success and those testimonials of folks that have used your product to future users will be really important for you as well. The question I have for you is, what obstacles do you have when it comes to your competitors as far as scaling and marketing goes?
Well, I'll let
Yes, I'm jotting all this down. Thank you so much, John. I have a immense digital marketing background. So I come from corporate social media. I started my career at Disney, have worked in television. And so what I've noticed, especially now with so many bloggers and YouTubers starting brands, it's actually a really good time for small brands to make an impact. Because to your point, Dawn, customers are now looking for more specific answers in their solutions. So they want clean beauty. They want to know that the focus is on building a regimen for the 97% of skin that's below the chin, and that it's esthetician run. That's another huge one. We are really in kind of the celebrity brand timeline, and we see that changing. Now people are really interested in expert-led companies. And with Christian being a licensed esthetician, we find that when we tell people that, they just light up because they can immediately ask her more, in-depth questions about their sensitive skin or things they've experienced or solutions exactly. And so we found that to be a really amazing customer journey. And that's something that we've been able to do on and offline. That hasn't just been an in-person thing that we've been able to accomplish, which is truly amazing. So what we're hoping to do is to continue to lean into the fact that we are a clean beauty brand, the fact that we are esthetician led, and the fact that we really focus on custom solutions, which is why we came out with a range of products, because we want you to be able to mix and match the products that work best for you for not only your skin needs, but also your time needs. We're both busy moms, so we understand not everyone can do a 10-step skincare routine.
Well, you're doing a great job as a startup. You've gotten a really great start, so keep going.
Thank you.
Hey, that was excellent. Great job. The presentation was fantastic. I don't necessarily have a question, but I just do have a comment. I want to comment on your pop-up stores. I think that's a really brilliant idea that you should really focus on, like getting out into the community, because you two are great together. And you seem like you really like reading through your business plan. It was lovely. It was amazing. So, I mean, I think if you get out there, you can kind of differentiate yourself from all the other ones, I mean, I think those pop-up stores are really, really key. And I think you're doing a great job. And I would definitely.
They're a lot of fun. Yeah. We have so much fun.
If we still have a minute, maybe talk a little more about the tour as kind of our wrap up to your non-question, Emily.
Right.
I hate to interrupt at that point. I know you said if we have a minute, but we have just hit that timer. A lot of great questions. And if anyone's interested further in exactly what you're talking about, they should check you out. We're all in Southeast Michigan. They're absolutely able to travel to any kind of Reggily owned store. Thank you guys again. You did so great. It was great to have you back. Please leave StreamYard and go back to the Zoom where we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, we have Veronica McGinley, owner of Lead Her Magazine. Hi, Veronica. How are you doing?
Good. I'm, of course, nervous.
Absolutely. It's not the first time we've heard that, if you can imagine. It's not the last time we're going to hear that. Nerves are normal. That's going to be my mantra of the night. So no worries. You prepped for this. You're going to do amazing.
Thank you.
As I've discussed, you are going to have 3 minutes to pitch. I will start the timer as soon as you begin talking. So without further ado, go ahead, take a very deep breath, collect yourself. The floor is yours whenever you are ready to begin. Good luck. Oh, and let me pull up your slides for you, of course.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to start by saying female-founded businesses are doing incredible work, but their stories are being lost in highlight reels, fragmented PR, and platforms that just don't tell the real, raw journey of building a business while balancing life, loss, motherhood, and self-doubt. Women own over 42% of all businesses in the US, yet receive less than 2% of VC funding. That gap isn't about lack of innovation. It's about lack of visibility, credibility, and access to platforms that take women-led businesses seriously. As mentioned, I'm Veronica, founder and editor-in-chief of Leader Magazine. Leader Magazine is more than a media platform. It's an organization built to preserve the real stories of female founders, challenge that 2% funding narrative, and strengthen our ecosystem by lifting women-led voices while preserving history in the making. Leader Magazine is funded through a diversified and intentional revenue model that includes print and digital magazine sales, annual partners, per issue sponsors, paid founder stories, columnists, advertisers, and subscriptions. This structure allows us to fund each issue up front, protect editorial integrity, and scale sustainably. Before issue 1 was even born, we secured an annual partner, 4 paid advertisers, 4 paid columnists, a wait list of 50 women wanting to be featured to tell their story, and over 200 people on the magazine wait list. Since announcing just 5 months ago, we've generated over 232,000 views across platforms, hosted a sold-out 40-seat launch event, and generated over $14,000 in revenue. So there is a growing demand for depth over noise, for meaningful visibility, credibility, and alignment. Female founders are ready to be seen, heard, and taken seriously, but they need an organization willing to advocate for them. With grant funding, Leader Magazine will create a scalable platform that supports long-term visibility, support, and community. As a female founder myself, with a background in branding, sales, merchandising, business development, I understand both the emotional reality of building and the business grit required to scale a platform like this. Leader Magazine is ready for its go-to-market strategy and the next phase of growth. So through WomanUp and Pitch, we are seeking grant funding to accelerate this impact, expand our reach, strengthen our infrastructure, and ensure female founders don't just build businesses, but build legacies that are seen, funded, and remembered. Thank you.
Perfect. Great job. Did very well, Veronica. You ended just at that 3-minute mark. Didn't go a second over. Very well done. So perfectly done. I appreciate that you still had a slow, very clear cadence personally. So very well done. You did great.
Thank you.
Now, the next part will open to the judges to give them about 5 minutes to ask you questions and also share any insights that they might have. We're going to start with Dawn, then go to Emily, and then end with Aaron for questions.
Okay.
Good evening. Great job presenting to us this evening. And really like the idea of lead her in your business plan. You were thorough. Question for you is, when you talk about print versus electronic delivery of the magazine, because it sounded like you're doing both, what's the percentage of print versus electronic delivery?
Currently, so I don't know the actual percentage number. So we just had our first launch, just as the first issue. And we've had more print than digital go out. So we've had 60 print and 20 digital since launching and announcing the launch January 12th. And part of that is, of course, due to the fact that we had the live launch party.
Okay. Great. And so I have a follow-up question for you as well.
Sure.
How do you plan to distribute the paper copy? So those 20, it sounded like you had more print. How do you plan to distribute those?
Yeah, I'm actually meeting with several people who have an infrastructure and are planted more securely. Amanda Lawan with Bamboo, who's had several locations in Michigan. Tim Moore, who's well known. I'm not going to keep saying names because I don't know if you know those people or if it matters. But anyway, they're more centered in where the places are. And so I will be reaching out and contacting businesses so that these women can be seen, right? That is part of the purpose of the magazine, is to get these women who are in the magazine the visibility that they need. Do you need funding? Let's get you in front of these investors and fundraisers. Do you need more people in certain industries to know that you exist? Let's get you in front of them. So that is, I don't have any thoughts to go to like Barnes and Noble or anywhere big like that. I'd like to keep it indie and in front of the people that we need it in front of, like investors and that. So the plan is to put it and get businesses to bring it on board.
That's great. And I ask because I want you to also consider, as you continue to grow and have more issues, the cost associated with, again, depending on how you're distributing, the cost associated with distributing it essentially manually versus electronic or digitally. But really nice job. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Hi, Veronica. You did a great job. That's fantastic. And Dawn took my question. So that's okay. That's fine. I have other questions for you anyway. But I just want to say thank you for making a magazine that's in print. I always appreciate that. I love to get mail and print magazines. And I think it's amazing. I do. I think it's a really good idea that could help quite a bit of women. I guess my biggest question is, in terms of marketing, what do you see giving you long stage viability in such a, cluttered market?
Absolutely. So with marketing, it's already, like I said, depth over noise. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even really I'm not a marketer. I have one on the back burner as soon as, I can bring someone on board who is phenomenal. And people are itching for this. My social media platforms have blown up and I'm barely doing the bare minimum. And so really connecting with women in these, can you please ask the question one more time? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're totally fine. You're answering
about marketing and
what your strongest marketing tactic is. But I also just want to say too, I think certainly in a business like this, and I'm not a huge fan of social media, so I don't use it, and I'm probably one of the only ones, but I think getting out into the community, to other women, getting to know people, getting to know, investors and, other people who are looking for the same thing is a very strong marketing tactic, especially, So
yeah. And it's, the magazine is made differently than your typical. I mean, it's thicker, it's bigger, it's beautiful. It's written like a book. There's not,
right.
An ad doesn't look like an ad. Because it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be enlightening. And when investors read it, it's supposed to be like, why would I invest in anybody else? Have you heard this story? It's phenomenal. And really the major goal is to eventually have a hub in Michigan. I want a headquarters where female founders can come to actually move the needle, right? There's so many networking events that you can build relationships, but is it moving the needle in your business? Did you identify your problem correctly? Or is there a problem? Have you talked about your pain points? And do you need to go to market? Can we connect you with someone to go to market? everybody's like, oh, let's go to this event, but you're not allowed to pitch, And so
Right.
let's create an area where you can tell me what you need and I can connect you with who you need.
I think that's very valuable. And thank you. I hope this happens because it'd be a good place to be.
Oh, it's just
right. It's just a matter of when. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Hi, Veronica, and great job.
Thank you.
And congratulations on all your current success.
Thank you.
Too with the business. A few notes that I wrote down just while you were talking, just some things that I appreciated, that you're selling authority and access and not just impressions for the business. On the flip side of that, one perspective I had is that one of your strongest moats is trust. Like, as the business grows, how do you plan to balance like paid founder features with editorial credibility?
Can you explain that? That's okay.
Where there are paid placements for founders in comparison to professional editorials included.
In my magazine?
Yes. Yes.
How do I plan to create space for what?
How do you balance the value of, from a revenue perspective, of those paid placements with also the editorial credibility?
Oh, the person writing yes. Yeah.
Not to interrupt, and we are just a little over the time. We are a little we're a little ahead of schedule. So Veronica, feel free to answer that question. Just try to keep it to 1 to 2 sentences and as smooth as you can make it.
Absolutely. The stories are narrative, so they are written like you are reading a book, because I want you to be able to sit in this person's story and see yourself in it like you're reading a book. And really, that's the focus of trying to bring emotion and credibility back to the story. So it's not someone talking to you, you are becoming part of the story.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Veronica. You did amazing. I know you're nervous, but you really conquered it. Congratulations.
All right.
You can leave StreamYard and you can head back to the Zoom. We'll talk to you later. All right. Well, now last but certainly not least for our startup category, we have Caitlin Drzwecki. Hi,
Hello.
Caitlin. She's the owner of Detroit Movie Theater. How are you feeling, Caitlin?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
Perfect. You're the first one who hasn't come on and said, I'm really nervous. And that's totally fine. Even if you were, it's great to hear that you're confident.
No, I'm wildly nervous.
Of course. Well, like I've been saying all night, nerves are normal.
Okay.
So we have your slides ready.
Okay.
You know how this works. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to go over your pitch. As soon as you hit the 3-minute mark, I will politely interrupt you and ask you to wrap up in just a sentence or two if you go over.
Okay.
I will start the timer as soon as you begin speaking.
Okay.
So go ahead, take a deep breath, collect your thoughts. Whenever you want to begin, the floor is yours. Good luck.
I grew up in the small town of Pinckney, Michigan. I certainly didn't appreciate it growing up. I was anxious to get out and see the world, but that requires money and patience, which I didn't have either. I found the next best option, which was going to the movies. My first taste of freedom after getting my driver's license was going to the State Theater in Ann Arbor to see a movie my parents probably wouldn't let me go see. Going to the movies became more than just an affordable activity with my friends. As the lights dimmed and the film began, something shifted for me. Shared laughter, whispered reactions sparked real connection. The movie theater became a place where I could experience a world through another person's eyes and process what I had seen on screen through a post-movie conversation. Now I see something different happening in the world. Conversation seems to be limited to the number of characters we can type. We're all entertained by our own devices, forgetting to look up for those in-person connections. Where in Detroit can we meet up to watch a story together and have a bite to eat afterwards to discuss? I'm Caitlin Drzwecki, and I'm building Detroit's new art house movie theater. With 15 plus years in film exhibition, I've identified a clear gap in Detroit's film scene. My experiences in other cities and at industry events show Detroit can and will support a new art house theater. Unlike cities with comparable populations such as Portland, which has over 24 theaters, Detroit currently has only one multiplex and a handful of single-screen theaters that operate on a limited schedule. My vision fills this gap. The movie-going landscape is definitely different than what it once was. Even so, ComScore, the premier audience measurement company, says movie-going is up 1% year over year, which is consistent with pre-pandemic numbers. We are targeting Metro Detroit with a focus on Wayne County. Within this target group, we will focus on young professionals and families. Our business model is informed by research and experience. A 4-screen theater is optimal, 2 screens for popular titles and 2 for unique community programming. Research shows that new theaters, or those that have undergone renovation, reach profitability within 2 years. Our ticket prices will be $10, and additional revenue streams will come from theater rentals, special screenings, midweek specialty pricing, a full bar with adult beverages, and of course, kid-friendly drinks and those tasty food options. This strategy meets the need of both the distributors and Detroit film enthusiasts. I am requesting $10,000 to support 3 things in the initial stages of building this theater. First, to fund a feasibility report by local architecture firm Synecdoche. Second, to conduct in-depth market research by doing a pop-up screening. And lastly, to properly compensate for consultation with our local industry experts. Here is your opportunity to be part of something transformative. Your investment is more than capital. It's the cornerstone that will bring Detroiters together, spark economic activity, and create lasting legacy in our community. Let's continue to build Detroit's creative future together, one film and one conversation at a time. Thank you very much.
Great job, Caitlin. Very good. And I'm going to change it up a little bit this time and actually start with a question from myself instead of the judges.
Okay.
Out of all the recent Oscar nominations we got, who do you think is going to win the Best Picture?
Oh my God, Sinners.
Sinners? Okay,
Yeah.
we've got it
I don't
there.
care. That's what I'm voting for.
I love it. All right. Well, great job, Caitlin.
Thank
If
you.
you can guess, you just hit exactly that 3-minute mark. You
Okay,
used
cool.
all of your time, filled it out. You didn't go over. Perfect
Yep.
job.
you.
Congratulations. Now I'll leave it up to the judges to ask questions. Once again, we'll start with Dawn, then go to Emily, and then go to Aaron. You guys
Okay.
will have 5 minutes. So go ahead and take it from here.
Thank you.
Great job. This is a great idea to bring to the community. I agree. And I think we can all think back about what we really enjoyed in our childhood and just kind of looking around the screen, knowing we probably all went to movies based on just the stage of life that we're in.
Yep.
That was a really big thing that you did as you socialized as a young person. And we have to make sure we continue to give these opportunities to do things like this to young people, right? And so kudos to you for taking this on and running with it. A question actually that comes a bit from your business plan as well is I noticed that you had opportunity to rent the facility or future facilities for corporate events.
Mhm.
I think that's going to be really big for you as far as making some of that revenue, that predictive revenue that I saw in your financials.
Yep.
My question is, how do you plan to market to corporate or large event opportunities?
That's a great question. I definitely think by reaching out to the community, I am embedded in Detroit. I live in the Woodbridge neighborhood. I've got so many different touch points in reaching out to folks that are in big corporations and big companies that I know that they're always looking for places to host events, especially new spaces. Detroit has we have some great spaces, but I definitely know there's more because everyone kind of does the same thing. Like Jam Handy was like one that everybody went to for a while. I love the Jam Handy. I got married there. So, but I think by using the connections that I have by reaching out to folks at the beginning, and then as I learn more about how corporate events go and being in the event industry, I'm also very connected to those event producers, independent, and those that work within the internal corporation. So to me, at the beginning, will be definitely word of mouth and reaching out to all of my contacts.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Caitlin. That was great. You did a really good job.
Thank you.
I think this is an awesome idea. I love the idea of a new theater in the city, the community. It would do a lot of great things.
Thank you.
It would be great to bring it back. I guess my question is, with all the streaming services available to us now, how are you going to convince people, and how are you going to monetize their experience beyond ticket sales?
Right. So streaming, it's definitely added a layer to how we consume media. I don't think to just say, oh, we'll just get people out in just by our marketing strategy. I think there's definitely more to it. I have a standard of customer service that when I do all of the events that I have done, and with the experience I've had with Sundance, I want to make it the most welcoming environment and a place where people feel comfortable to come back to. And, I know people are going to be really comfortable in their homes, but if there's a home away from home, I definitely want to make this theater that for them. And I believe that with my level of customer service experience and the people that I have around me that will be supporting, they also had that same ambition as far as the customer service element goes, which definitely the in-person interaction is really what will make us stand out from watching something that you could easily see on streaming. And there's so many movies out there. I think we often forget, we think that the only movies we see are going to be on streaming and that's it. Whoa, no. There are so many more movies that don't even make it to streaming platforms. And I do have a lot of experience with that curation aspect too. And I know people that, they're not just going for the regular distribution models. They're filmmakers that want to do their self-distribution. We have so many here in Detroit that I think it's exciting for people to see their neighbors create something really cool and then to see it on the big screen. So there's a lot of different elements to it. And to compete with streaming is not necessarily, I want that other option, that there's going to be so much more content that we can share with people. And I hate saying content with movies, but that's kind of where we're at.
Right? I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I do. Yeah. I think it'll be good. Yeah. And there are tons of movies. You are very correct. So keep it up. I think it's an excellent, excellent idea.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate your question.
Caitlin, great pitch and love the idea. Just as a movie buff myself, that's what I mostly do in my free time.
Cool.
I do have a unique question because I'm big on entrepreneurs thinking about trade-offs early on in the success of business. What's one opportunity you're likely to say no to in the first year, even if it brings in revenue?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. As far as the opportunities, so something that I've been thinking about as far as this is a big endeavor. I have seen a lot of different people try different things out with their theater or do different things fast. And I don't necessarily want to go fast. I want, if what we need to do is 2 screens first and then move to the 4 screens, that's how I want to do it. I want to make sure that we're doing it right and doing it correct. So if someone is giving me a pile of money and says, let's go right for it, I really do want to be conscientious about our customer service element and making sure that we have a lot of those specific in the logistics down and we have everything set and ready to go. And I also think a lot of theaters, especially art house theaters, we do look a lot at the social element of it. And we also look at different things going on in the world. And I think being embedded in if I have to give up making sure that my employees are not paid properly or the compensation isn't there, we're going to have to think about things and do things a little bit differently, because I want the people that are around and also interacting with the public and the customers to feel proud about being at the Detroit Movie Theater. So if something is kind of moving too fast, or we're not if our mission is being compromised as far as how we're going to properly compensate folks, that's something I might have to I might have to really think about.
Love the
Excellent.
answer.
Well,
Thank you.
Caitlin,
Oh, thank you.
I took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you so much You managed to wrap up our startup category, and you did amazing. It was certainly a great way to finish it.
Thank you
So
very
I'll
much.
let you get back to the Zoom room. And again, thank you so much.
I appreciate you all. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
Take care. All right, and that again wraps up our first 5 startup categories. So judges, I will let you guys finalize your scores for the startup category, and then you can send those off to Kenneth, where you'll rendezvous later to pick the final winner. And for everyone else, that was absolutely amazing. Feel free to make some noise in the chat just for our startup category. They did amazing. Now we're just going to take a quick break. Go ahead, stretch your legs, refill your beverage, get a little snack, but don't go anywhere. We are going to be right back very soon in just a couple minutes. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everyone, or welcome if you're just joining us for the first time. We just finished all of our startup pitches, and now we're about to move on to our established business category. These are businesses that have made over $150,000 in a yearly revenue and or are over 3 years old. We can bring back all of our great judges, as well as welcome our first established business pitcher, Michelle Renaud, owner of Urban Solace. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing?
Nervous, but well, thank you so much.
Of course. Well, I'm driving everyone crazy except you guys by saying nerves are normal. It's my mantra for the night, just to remind everyone.
Yes.
So you know how this process will go. You're going to have about 3 minutes to pitch. I will time you, and the timer will start only once you begin talking. If you happen to go over, I'll politely interrupt just to let you know and wrap it up in the next sentence or two. Once you start talking again is when the timer will start. So go ahead, take a deep breath. The floor is yours. As soon as you are ready, begin, and good luck.
Did you know that there are 63 million superheroes in the US? They don't wear masks or capes. They're disguised as daughters, sons, partners, even friends. In your lifetime, you'll either know one, be one, or need one. These compassionate souls are resourceful and selfless, but their kryptonite is stress. Who are these valiant members of society? Caregivers. In Michigan, 1 in 5 adults are assisting an aging parent or a disabled loved one while possibly sacrificing their own well-being in the process. In fact, studies show that 17% of carers report declining health due to stress and burnout, while nearly half develop a chronic condition like type 2 diabetes or heart disease. My name is Dr. Michelle Renaud, and I'm the founder of Urban Solace. We've helped people reduce stress and build resilience for over 20 years. I became a caregiver long before I knew what the word meant, and I needed a way to balance the joys, heartache, and responsibilities of this role. Urban Solace was born from that lived reality and has been a comfort hub for countless superheroes. But after almost 10 years in our Rivertown studio, we were priced out and forced to shift operations, which never dampened our spirit or our community impact. Last year, we generated $38,000 in revenue through weekly live streams, health education workshops, and self-care programs, with an average profit margin of 28% on retreats and special events. However, we understand that preventive wellness can be costly, which is why we're the proud producers of the longest-running free yoga series on the riverfront. In the past 2 years alone, we've hosted over 3,000 participants across all of our offerings. And this fall, we are super excited to launch Urban Solace Cares, an evidence-based curriculum focused on caregiver advocacy, research, education, and support, which is projected to increase our revenue by 20% in the next 3 years. We're also converting a trailer into a mobile mindfulness unit to further enhance the accessibility of our resources. Through the years, I've seen exhausted caregivers leave our classes feeling refreshed and less alone, realizing that they need care too. And we're so honored to hold space for them to pause and re-energize without guilt. So today, I'm asking for $10,000 to support more of these deserving superheroes. First, through the integration of an online learning management system for Urban Solace Cares. Second, to complete the mobile mindfulness unit with exterior branding, tires, and flooring. Lastly, to help subsidize our community work so that programs remain free for those in need. This investment extends beyond equipment. It supports access to functional relief and strengthens caregiver capacity, empowering dedicated superheroes to pour into themselves so that they can continue caring for the people they love. Thank you for the privilege of your time.
All right, Michelle, absolutely great job. Thank you so much for starting our established businesses off with a bang. You did amazing.
Thank you.
And can you guess how much time you had left before the 3-minute mark?
58.
58. You were actually at 51. So you had a full 9 seconds.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you did absolutely amazing. And again, thank you so much. So now we'll open it up to our judges that will be able to ask you about 5 minutes worth of questions. Judges, we'll start with Dawn again, go to Emily, and then to Aaron.
Thank you. Really great job presenting. And I have to say, this caregiver focus is such a need, as you well know. So thank you for focusing on our caregivers, because they take care of our family, right? So my question for you is, and I can't move on actually without saying, I love the mobile unit. Love that. So continue to do that and continue to expand that if you are able to. How do caregivers know that you exist as a resource?
Excellent question. So we are connected with some caregiver networks as part of my research as well. We have established a network of participants that have been through our program, and then we also post through Facebook as well as through healthcare newsletters, especially because I work in palliative care and oncology. And so we see a lot of caregivers who are there helping their loved ones throughout the process.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Hi, Michelle. This is an excellent business idea. And it's obviously a very good business. And yeah, in terms of the mobile unit, just hands off to that. That is really, really amazing. And touching on that, like, how will you, with this expansion and hopefully like expanding across the city and beyond the city, how do you plan to maintain the reputation and the deep, authentic connection that you have with the community?
Oh, that's an
right? Important.
Yes, excellent question. Thank you. So as mentioned, we have been producing programs in the city of Detroit since 2001. So we were kind of considered an early adopter before it was kind of cool and hip to do fitness programs downtown. So we have a wonderful support of community followers and supporters, yoga friends, wellness participants. And a lot of the work that we have done so far has been through word of mouth and through wonderful organizational partnerships as well. So that has helped keep us afloat, which has been wonderful. And we're appreciative of that too.
Excellent. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Hi, Michelle. Great presentation. Continue to keep up the work. It is definitely needed. I had a question, two questions actually, so I'll try to be quick. Love the mobile mindfulness unit. How do you plan on measuring success or return on investment for that?
Well, actually, for us, the return on investment is the number of participants that we reach. We have been very fortunate, as mentioned, with the programs that we currently run on a seasonal basis. We're celebrating our 19th season of Fun and Fitness on the riverfront. And I think for me, it's about providing access for programs and being able to maintain our reach into the neighborhoods and the communities. As a native Detroiter, I've always wanted to set roots and maintain that access because wellness programs are certainly well needed, especially for that demographic.
Thank you. My second question is, I'm always impressed by founders and everything they carry in building and growing businesses. As your revenue grows and the business grows, from your perspective, what are some of the biggest responsibilities you plan on delegating?
Oh my, biggest responsibilities. That's excellent. I would definitely say, with respect to even this participant competition, gaining more access and liaisons in the financial sector. It was wonderful to work with a mentor who had a background in finance. I think that's important for all small businesses in general, because as many people have said in the past, when you're immersed in it, you basically wear all of the hats. So I think that's important to be able to delegate some of those tasks to the professionals.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, Michelle, thank you again. You did an amazing job. You started us off great, so really appreciate it. We'll let you go. You can head back to the Zoom room, and thank you again.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, our next contestant is none other than Katrina Cross Daniels, owner of Katrina Cross Photography. Hi, Katrina, how are you doing?
I am great. I am great. How's everybody?
We're doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. All right, so Katrina, you know exactly how this is going to work. We have your slide set up, and as soon as you begin pitching, I will start the timer for the 3 minutes. If you happen to go over that 3-minute timer, I'll politely interrupt to let you know and ask you to wrap up in the next sentence.
Okay.
As soon as you begin talking is when the timer will start. So go ahead, Katrina, take a very deep breath, get yourself ready. The floor is yours. Good luck.
Imagine going through an unexpected divorce after 25 years of marriage. The depression, the guilt, the shame. It feels less like a breakup and more like a death. I know this pain personally. Research shows that over 50% of women after divorce struggle with mental health challenges, body insecurities, and confidence loss. In the middle of my healing, I made one decision that changed everything. I booked a boudoir experience for myself. Not the kind that people assume, not explicit. It was classy, tasteful, and deeply intentional. For the first time in years, I looked at myself and thought, I am beautiful. That moment didn't change how I saw my body, but it changed how I saw my worth. I am Katrina Cross Daniels, founder of Katrina Cross Photography, and I celebrate women who are ready to embrace their strength and beauty. I created the I Am Worthy Boudoir Experience, a safe, empowering space for women to reclaim their confidence, beauty, and voice. With over 100 plus Google reviews, most women state that this experience is transformational. Women like Tara, who survived a childhood trauma and told me that she had never felt beautiful until she stepped in front of my camera. Shayna, divorced after 25 years, a 2-time suicide attempt survivor, who now sees herself as worthy of love and life. And Sherry, a cancer survivor reclaiming her body after illness. I serve everyday women, mothers, wives, caregivers, and business professionals who do everything for everyone else while quietly suffering in silence. Women walk into my downtown Detroit studio unsure, and they leave standing taller, feeling powerful. Our work is not about lingerie. It's about healing. What makes us different is we focus on transformation first. And how it starts. Clients book a consultation. We complete their session. We plan our in-person image reveal. And finally, we order our tangible keepsake products. And I also offer full service photography services for wedding and portraits as well, and studio rentals. I am seeking $10,000 to expand my studio into an even stronger safe haven for women by completing private room build-outs, upgrading camera equipment, new furniture and props, and the studio support so we can serve more women with care and excellence. With this investment, I project a 30% increase in revenue within the next 12 months by increasing sessions capacities, improving production quality, and expanding my ability to host empowerment-based sessions and workshops. We are more than just pretty pictures. Thank you.
Oh, muted there. Thank you so much, Katrina. You did absolutely amazing. You guess how much time you had left on the timer?
15 seconds.
No, just 3 seconds.
Oh.
You're just 3 seconds off. So you used up all of your time. You did perfect. So great job. Really amazing pitch. Thank you very much. So now I will leave it up to the judges. They'll have 5 minutes to ask you any questions and you to answer. We'll start with Dawn, we'll go to Emily, and then we'll end with Aaron. Thank you, guys.
Great job, Katrina, with your presentation and taking your photography passion and skill and using it to help women build confidence is really impressive and important thing to focus on. Confidence really helps us both in our personal life and corporate world as well. So kudos to you for this focus. As an established business owner, my question for you is, what obstacle have you had to overcome since starting your business?
The obstacles that I've had to overcome is space. Like with boudoir photography being such an intimate, private experience that I want to offer women, just having the right place to do that service. So being able to have my own studio, at times not having a studio, trying to rent a studio, so that has been one of the the obstacles that I've definitely had to overcome is getting a place.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Katrina. Thank you. That was I love it. It's a great business. I think my question is, how do you determine the pricing structure to cover all the costs of doing the business, plus provide you with a healthy financial income stream while also keeping it, affordable for people? Like, how do you overcome that? It's a big battle.
Yes, I would say the way I do it is that I have a session fee. So clients do pay a smaller fee, initial fee, to get the service booked. And then I have different packagings depending on what they want to offer. So I have a lower entry package, meaning like if they just want to order an 8x8 album versus a higher end where they may want a 10x10 or a 12x12. I am a product-based photographer, so I do have like products to give people. So it's not just digitals. So just depending on what they're trying to order, I have different entry points to help the client and myself.
Fantastic. I love it. That's great. Yeah, keep it up. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
Definitely a need for it.
Thank you.
Hi, Katrina.
Hello.
Hi, great job, and really great job on the time management too on the pitch. One quick question. As the business continues to grow, what's one thing you're interested in growing in as a business owner, from an operational perspective, like for the business, to have long-term sustainability?
I would probably answer that to say being able to get staff and train others. Right now, I do have a community of photographers that I have monthly meetups. So I'm always educating other photographers, training them. I host workshops. I'm an educator and speaker as well. So being able to bring up some of the next generations to bring in partnerships with this, because this is a business that's going to continue to grow. I want to see it grow. So I need more people on board that can do this service with me, and being able to have my studio where I can get private rooms built out where we can service more people at one time versus one client at a time and not be private. So that's what I would do.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, judges. And thank you, Katrina. You did absolutely amazing. We appreciate you so much being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And thank you for being here. You can head back now to the Zoom room with the other finalists and leave StreamYard.
Okay, thank you.
And our next finalist is none other than Chloe Edmonds. Hi, Chloe. She's the owner of Scott Elizabeth Events. How are you doing, Chloe?
Excellent. I'm really excited.
Awesome. We love to hear that. We're very happy to have you. So you know how this works. We're going to give you about 3 minutes to pitch. The timer will start as soon as you start talking. And if you happen to go over it, I will just politely interrupt to let you know. Without further ado, the floor is yours. Take a very deep breath. When you're ready, begin, and good luck.
Thanks, Gabe. Good evening. My name is Chloe Edmonds, and I'm the founder of Scott Elizabeth Events, a Detroit-based event production and experiential strategy company. Today, I'm excited to share Fancy Fridays Detroit. I grew up on Detroit's east side, right next to a suburb with more access and more luxury. From a young age, I learned what it felt like to see fancy, but not always feel invited into it. That feeling followed me into adulthood. As a young professional in Detroit, ambitious, community-minded, and stylish, I was excited to enjoy my city, but instead I kept running into the same wall. Nightlife felt repetitive and empty. Philanthropy felt outdated and exclusionary, and Detroit's small businesses were fading into the background. Over 70% of millennials and Gen Z feel disconnected from traditional philanthropy. More than 60% prefer giving through experiences, and fewer than 1 in 10 small businesses see consistent return from large-scale events. The answer didn't exist, so I created it. Fancy Fridays Detroit is a recurring themed social experience that blends fashion, fun, and philanthropy into intentional high-concept nights. Imagine this. You walk into a thoughtfully designed space, luxury taste, Detroit creatives and young professionals, curated activations blended with a rich nonprofit story, immersive brand experiences, and a dress code that invites expression and style. Now that's fancy, and it's just the fix the market needs. For guests, we shift disposable nights into enriching experiences. For nonprofits, we make fundraising accessible without the burden of actually planning the event themselves. And for small businesses, we create curated visibility where it actually converts. And these events aren't just meaningful, they will also make money. We run a tight program on a sponsorship-led diversified revenue model. Each event generates between $26,000 to $30,000 with net revenue of $11,000 to $15,000, driven by sponsorships, ticket sales, small business activations, and merchandise. In 2026, we project $180,000 in revenue across 8 Detroit events. These projections are grounded in experience, as the Fancy Fridays brand is powered by Scott Elizabeth Events, where I've spent over a decade producing high-impact experiences, from luxury weddings to nonprofit fundraisers exceeding 6-figure goals. I know how to build rooms that move people, emotionally and financially. Today, we're asking for $10,000 in order to secure pilot venues, produce signature merchandise, and fund a targeted marketing strategy. Fancy Fridays is more than just an event series. It's nightlife with purpose, it's fundraising with style, it's luxury with accessibility, because we all deserve to be fancy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. I know how to fill rooms that move people. I really like that phrase. That was great. You did absolutely amazing. Can you guess how much time you had left from that 3-minute mark?
Maybe 10 seconds.
Close, actually 12. So
Perfect.
you beat your own guess by 2 seconds. A great job. You did amazing, and your slides looked great. So
Awesome.
now we'll open this up to the judges to ask their question once again. We'll start with Dawn, go to Emily, and with Aaron. You guys will have 5 minutes. Enjoy.
Great job on timing, Chloe. Nice job. Love the idea of your business, Fancy Fridays, bringing fun to events. Who's your biggest competitor, and how do you differentiate yourself?
Right now, I would say networking at night. I love what Cliff is doing, but it is bringing young professionals into a space where networking is the priority. What I want to do is bring philanthropy into the conversation. Nightlife and philanthropy will really exponentially, right, have this community impact, and I'm really excited to throw that in there.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Dawn.
Hi, Chloe. I think that's excellent. There is a large detachment, I feel like, in philanthropy and just the regular community at large. So, I mean, it's good to have the conversation about it and talk about it in new light.
Thanks, Emily.
What do you think is the biggest profit driving aspect of your business?
Our largest revenue stream is going to be our sponsorships. They actually, sponsorship and strategic in-kind partners, they help us to underwrite a majority of the cost. So that allows us to keep tickets accessible, but profitability, we have ticket sales, right? A range, VIP, standard ticketing, pre-order. So we have a bunch of opportunity with ticket sales, but also the merchandise is a huge community builder and brand builder. So very excited about that piece.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much.
Sure. And Aaron.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
Hi. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Long-term question about the business.
Sure.
Is there any part of your long-term vision that you are delaying or maybe sequencing right now intentionally? If so, what is that and why?
Yes, I say geographic expansion. I love Royal Oak. I love what Birmingham's doing. I think Ann Arbor has a a market for this as well. But I want to make sure we have strong roots in Detroit, and the creatives in Detroit help with the momentum. There's a emerging young professional space that I'm really excited about here. So I want to do that first. And I'm from Detroit. I love Detroit.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Chloe, for answering all those questions. Judges, we still have about 2 minutes left if anyone has an additional question or a comment that they would like to make. Doesn't look like it. All right. Well, Chloe, thank you again. Big round of applause for you. You did amazing. You can go ahead and leave the StreamYard and go back to the Zoom room. We will talk to you later. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, and thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, up next, we have Dr. Jenny Jeshurun, owner of the Nest Wellness Collective. Hi, Jenny, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your time this evening.
Well, we appreciate yours as well. You've done a great job of preparing for this, so we know you're going to do amazing here. Now, as you know, I will have a timer that I'll start for 3 minutes as soon as you begin your pitch. If you happen to hit that mark and go over it, I will politely interrupt just to let you know. The floor is yours. Best of luck. Take a deep breath, collect your thoughts. As soon as you are ready, feel free to begin.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Jenny Jeshurun. I'm a pelvic health physical therapist and the founder of the Nest Wellness Collective in Metro Detroit. I invite you to take a moment to imagine 3 women. One is quietly navigating fertility challenges. She's overwhelmed by appointments and emotions with no place that holds her whole story. Another is a new mother. She's recovering from birth trauma and pelvic pain. She's told her symptoms are normal, while she's left to piece together her own healing and care for a newborn. The third is entering menopause. She's confused by her changing body and dismissed by providers who only see fragments of her experience. 3 different seasons of life, one shared reality of fragmented care, limited support, and no true village. Women are navigating some of the most vulnerable transitions of their lives within a system that is fragmented and incomplete. Care is often delivered in pieces. Physical health in one place, mental health in another, wellness somewhere else, and many women are never told that other forms of support may even exist. The problem isn't women's effort. It's a system that fails to educate, to connect, to guide them towards comprehensive care for their bodies, their minds, and their lives. The Nest Wellness Collective was built to close that gap. We're a multidisciplinary, trauma-informed women's health and wellness center, and we support women across the lifespan, from fertility and pregnancy to postpartum, midlife, and beyond. Under one roof, we bring together pelvic floor physical therapy, mental health counseling, wellness services, movement, and education. Instead of sending women to multiple disconnected providers, our team collaborates so care feels coordinated, supportive, and human. Women come to us overwhelmed, disconnected from their bodies often, or unsure of where to turn on their healing or wellness journey, but they leave feeling seen, supported, informed, and more confident in their ability to heal. And just as importantly, they leave with community, knowing that they don't have to navigate these seasons alone. In the past year and a half alone, we've supported over 1,000 women and families, and we continue to grow and evolve our offerings to be more cohesive, holistic, and community-centered, while working alongside a network of collaborative, women-owned partnerships and wellness providers to support the families that we serve. Our revenue model is diversified and sustainable, allowing us to provide insurance-based and private pay options for physical therapy. We offer cash-based wellness services, group programs, workshops, as well as collaborative care partnerships. Today, I'm asking for $10,000 to strengthen 3 connected areas of impact. The first being community education. Expanding our workshops across fertility, postpartum, midlife, so that women are informed about their bodies and the support available to them. The second is access to care, subsidizing pelvic health, mental health, and wellness services for women and families who face financial or logistical barriers.
Hi, Jenny. Sorry to interrupt, but you've just hit the time. If you can wrap up at the next sentence or 2, please.
Yep. The third is workforce development, supporting and retaining specialized providers so we can sustainably meet the growing demand. Thank you so much.
So much. You did absolutely amazing. All right, that you hit the timer. There's so much to talk about with all of your businesses, so it's more than understandable. And your slides looked great, so no worries. You did amazing.
I appreciate
so
that
the
very
next
much.
part, of course. So the next part is we'll open it up to our judges. They will have about 5 questions where they can ask you some questions or make any notes if they just have some comments. We'll again start with Dawn, go to Emily, and then end with Aaron.
Great job.
Thank you.
And great focus. I don't have a question, but I just want to say thank you for really thinking about how you can support women of all stages and phases of life, regardless of what they're going through, and being a great resource. It sounds like you've done a lot of research and you have the experience necessary to continue on this journey. So thank you for what you're doing, and keep going.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Hi, Jenny. That was great. This looks like a very successful already business, and you're definitely filling a void and again a need. So thank you for that. It had to have been difficult, I'm sure, to be a solo practicer along with many other people in your offices going to a group context. Like, what was the biggest bottleneck that you found in there, and what are ways that you found that you're all successful together?
Great question. So I did start the practice as a solo provider, as a pelvic floor physical therapist, as that's my background. But the Nest has always existed with this vision of collaborative care. So much of it is from my own personal experiences. I had my first baby right before COVID, and I've experienced 2 very traumatic births. And so that personal passion that I have behind this space is really so much of my own journey, and feeling that disconnection when I was healing from birth trauma, feeling that isolation and disconnection from other moms going through similar seasons in early postpartum with my first during COVID. And so that vision was something I always knew I wanted to happen, and I needed time, I needed growth. I also needed to ensure that it would be something sustainable. And the beauty of that time was allowing these organic relationships to form and really choosing the right providers to come into our space. I have this drive and desire to grow very rapidly, but I also really want to make connections with providers who have the same values and focus as I have always had in my physical therapy practice, allowing women and individuals to feel seen, heard, and supported first and foremost, not dismissed and disconnected to their care. And so that growth, again, has happened very organically. It's been through so many different connections and reaching out to providers, connecting with other businesses in the community. And when we made the move to a group and collaborative practice 1.5 years ago, so many of those connections really did just kind of fall into place. I know that may sound a little bit too serendipitous, but the values spoke for themselves, and just those providers really came wanting to support the same values. I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you. Your passion definitely shows through. So
thank you very much.
Love it. You're doing great.
Thank you.
All right, Doctor. Thank you for your work, and also great presentation.
Thank you.
One question.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to ask you what impact outcome matters most to you, that doesn't necessarily increase revenue.
That's a great question. And I think the biggest impact really is community and community connections. There are so many aspects of community within our space. And I know we are very multidisciplinary. We have a lot of different services to offer, but they really do come back to this cohesive root of supporting you through multiple seasons of life, whether that's education, physical support, emotional well-being, spiritual support, well, to a degree. All of those factors really come together, and increasing accessibility to our services really is something that is such a need in our community. There are so many barriers to seeking holistic wellness, whether it's financial obligations, whether it's insurance, whether it's just the time and space to find providers that you feel safe and secure and trusted with. And so that's one of our aims, is to kind of remove as many of those barriers as possible, and increasing accessibility to community events or community education workshops, to have them as free or as low cost as absolutely possible is really a big goal of ours. So I'd say that's the primary focus in that regard.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, judges, thank you so much for answering all your questions. And Dr. Jenny, thank you so much for being with us here tonight, for sharing your story and your business's story. We absolutely appreciate it, especially the kind of hard work that you do, of course.
Thank you. Really appreciate all of your time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So at this time, you can leave StreamYard, you can go back to the Zoom room with the other finalists, and we will see you later. Thank you.
Sounds great.
All right, and last but certainly not least for our established category, we have Dr. Danita Weddle. She's the owner of The Love Glove. Hi, Danita. Can you hear us? How are you feeling?
Okay, last but not least.
Certainly not. I've heard your pitch before. It's absolutely amazing. And you wouldn't be here if you didn't have an absolutely amazing business that you're here to pitch to us about. So thank you. Now, you know how this works. I'm going to set a timer for just 3 minutes. If you happen to go over it, I'll politely interrupt you just to let you know to wrap it up. The timer will begin as soon as you begin talking. So at this point, Danita, go ahead, take a very deep breath, collect your thoughts. When you are ready, the floor is yours. Good luck.
If a woman's hands could talk, what would they say? Because every woman's hands tells a story. My name is Danita Weddle, owner of The Love Glove. Women's hands build businesses, stroke egos, and birth the babies that will lead tomorrow, and yet their hands are seldom celebrated. And finding meaningful ways to honor the laying of a woman's hands can be frustrating. The Love Glove resolves that. What sets the Love Glove apart is our genuine premium leather gloves with sheep and lambskin leather. Interchangeable charms that you select that embody who she is and her story. Our cashmere lining and eco-friendly packaging. We don't just sell gloves, we sell identity, storytelling, and generational empowerment. And we dare to wrap it in luxury. We began our journey in 2021, designing, prototyping, and searching for manufacturers. We then trademarked. We had an official launch in 2024, along with becoming a certified woman-owned business. In 2025, we focused our attention on live events and in-person activities so that we could prove our concept and market fit. The women who experienced the quality of the leather and were able to connect their stories to our products. The Love Glove sold 192 units, $130 average sale, $27,000 in revenue, and a 62% margin. Now, the opportunity. The US TAM is $16 billion for women luxury accessories. But most relevant to TLG or the Love Glove is early adopter SOM, 18 to 36 million within 6 years, targeting women's organizations, cause-based foundations, and the gifting consumer. We have a distinctive niche by transforming gloves into meaningful fashion. With your investment, the Love Glove will convert our proven in-person demand into a scalable digital platform and email campaign driven by analytics, increasing our conversion rate and developing measurable ROIs. Our goal is to grow nationally while staying rooted in our mission of job creation and economic impact in Michigan, because every hand tells a story, and together we can help more women see theirs honored.
All right. Thank you so much, Danita. Our last pitch of the night, and you ended at exactly 3 minutes. Just before I would have had to say, I should tell her to wrap it up. You did used all of your time and you made it all worth it. So congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabe.
Absolutely. So at this point, we'll now open it up for the last time to the judges to ask any final questions that they may have. They'll have about 5 minutes to do so and you to answer. Judges, we'll start with Dawn, go to Emily, and then end with Aaron again. Thank you.
Good evening. Love the charms to be able to personalize the gloves. Such a great idea. You talked a little bit on that last slide about your plan for growth and some goals that you have. What do you predict your biggest obstacle will be with that plan? And how are you planning to overcome it?
Yeah, so one of the biggest obstacles really has been our presence in social media. We've done some promos on social media. However, they haven't been very effective. And, I've tried to do those myself and I'm not as social media savvy as I wish I were. And so we really want to put some dollars into hiring some professional to help us with that.
Okay,
and we
great.
think that would help us get to those markets that I mentioned.
Yeah, influencers of
Yes.
such type. Great. Thank you. Nice job.
Thank you.
Hi, Danita. These are great gloves. I'm going to order some.
Hi.
I love the design of them. I was looking at them in your business plan. I think they're really unique and interesting and made high quality product. But question is, so what is the max capacity that you have for like an order at a time? And do you have a production process kind of in mind if you get large scale orders?
Yep. So currently, my sales have been B2C. We are looking to getting more B2B business so that I can manage inventory. I do have a manufacturer, but the lead time is 4 to 6 weeks for me to order the gloves. And so I've carried inventory and because I'm doing live events. So I think if I could balance out B2C with B2B, the women's organizations and cause-based foundations, then that would help me to manage my inventory a little better.
Fantastic. Well, good. Keep it up. I love it. So you got places to go.
Thank you, Dawn.
Hi, Danita.
Hi, Aaron.
First off, congratulations and great job on the pitch. I would probably, this is a reflective question. What's one lesson so far that shaped how you're approaching the next stage of growth for your business?
Well, the one lesson, there's been many lessons along the way. And the one thing I learned is because I did set up my e-commerce site before I started doing the live events. And, it's like you build an e-commerce site and they'll come, and that doesn't necessarily happen, right? You have to drive people to it. And so one of the weaknesses that I recognized right away was, well, two actually. One was the lack of social media savvy and the need for influencers who can help push my product. But the other thing is that people needed to see, feel, and touch the quality of our products. And so we started doing pop-up events and we had a kiosk at the mall. And so really getting it into the hands of the consumers and to having them connect their stories to the product.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right. Well, Danita, thank you so much for finishing off our first big Woman Up and Pitch 2026 with a bang. You did absolutely amazing. We appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can now let you go from a StreamYard and you can rejoin the Zoom room with the other finalists. All right. Well, judges, that was the end of our pitches. Thank you all so much for helping us to make this happen. We couldn't do it without you, literally. You guys now have the incredibly hard task that I don't envy. We're going to go to our secret Teams meeting room with our volunteer Kenneth, and you will pick our top 3 winners for each category. I'll let you guys go to do that. We won't see you again for the night. So again, thank you so much. I hope everyone in the chat can also thank them as well. They've done amazing and they've asked great questions.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. All right, and for everyone in the audience, you also have an extremely hard choice to make. I'm talking about the audience choice winner. So we have this beautiful QR code here, courtesy of Julia Elliott, who you guys might have seen in your YouTube chat, talking with you guys, engaging you. So big shout out to Julia, and thank you very much. If you use your phone here, and I'll do it with you so I can explain it exactly, you're going to scan the QR code, pull it up. It should take you to a Google Doc form that says WomanUp and Pitch, Southeast Michigan at the top. There you will just have to put in your email, and then you will have your choice of the finalists. They are laid out in the order that we had them on screen. I'll move this to a small one up there so anyone who missed that can still get the scan. But thank you so much. It's been an absolutely amazing night. And for anyone who's watching this, who's thought to themselves that that pitch just seemed really interested, we're very excited about it. If watching these pitches has you feeling inspired, maybe a little nervous in a good way, then that's exactly how every finalist here once felt. WomanUp and Pitch is a supportive, high energy experience designed to help entrepreneurs grow, connect, and compete for real funding. So do you want in next year? Then fill out this interest form following this beautiful link that we have here. We'll keep you in the loop when applications open. The link is in the chat, and you can see it right here on the screen, miwf.org/pitch 2026. Thank you very much. These were amazing pitches, and again, I can't speak enough about how proud I am. Next, we're going to hear a little bit about MWF from our Director of Lending, Tamara Jackson Gatewood. Hi, Tamara. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling tonight?
Hello, Gabe. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm electrified. It's been an amazing evening hearing all of these pitches. Do you have one that, you know, it doesn't have to be your favorite. Maybe it's one that just kind of spoke to you, or you felt like I need to check that out?
Listen, it doesn't get old. I've been around small businesses and doing, being a part of Pitch in different capacities for a while now, and it never gets old. I always have a favorite, but I cheer them all on in my own little way. So, congratulations to all of them. It's tough. I mean, because the only thing that, I always think about as they're all kind of working is that, at some point this was their baby, right? Their brainchild. And, to allow themselves to be vulnerable enough to share that with the entire world, it takes a lot. So kudos to everyone. And, thank you for allowing us to be a part of that. So we're a little piece of that. So we appreciate them for allowing us in on that. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, it's an absolutely amazing process. They've worked for months on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we know a thing or two about how entrepreneurs have to work very hard. Would you like to share a little bit about your own work that you do at MWF and your own impact on entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. So thanks a lot, Gabe. And hello to everyone out there. Again, my name is Tamara Jackson Gatewood, Director of Lending at MWF. And wow, again, if you are anything like me and Gabe, you have your notes in hand with your favorites, and you'll feel the oohs and ahs, you'll get the goosebumps. And the group chat is already buzzing, about all of the pitches, startup and established, and rightfully so. So before I dive in with a few words, I do want to pause and give a huge thank you to our sponsors, to Consumers Energy Foundation and to Comerica Bank. Your partnership makes all of this possible, from the coaching, the competitions, and the capital that funds these incredible businesses. So we truly could not do any of this without you. So now let's talk about lending at MWF. Michigan Women's Foundation was founded in 1986 by Mary Jo Pulte and 30 determined women who saw a problem and refused to accept it. At that time, only 3% of philanthropic dollars were going to causes that improve the lives of women and girls. So they said, not on our watch. Fast forward to today, and that same bold, solutions-driven energy is alive and well in our lending work, because over the years, we learned something powerful. So many women, and especially women and entrepreneurs of color, weren't short on ideas, talent, or hustle. They were short on access to capital, access to trusted guidance, access to someone saying, yes, we believe in you and we are willing to invest in you. That's why MWF became a community development financial institution, or CDFI. And what that means is simple but mighty. We lend where others won't. We look beyond a credit score to the whole entrepreneur, and we meet people where they are, and then we help them level up. Through our lending, we invest in women and entrepreneurs who are building real businesses, creating jobs, growing neighborhoods, and laying the foundation for generational wealth. And here's the part that I love the most. Our capital is never just a check. Our capital comes with coaching, with technical assistance, and with real humans walking alongside you as you grow. So when you see these finalists tonight, what you're seeing isn't just a pitch competition, you're seeing the pipeline as well. These are entrepreneurs who dared to dream and then did the work, who showed up, refined their ideas, sharpened their numbers, and stood in their confidence. At MWF, we like to say, we don't just move Michigan women forward, we move Michigan forward. Because when women win, families win. When entrepreneurs of color thrive, communities thrive. And when opportunity is expanded, everybody benefits. So to every finalist tonight, we see you, we believe in you, and whether you leave with a prize tonight or not, you are already part of something bigger. Thank you for letting us be a part of your journey, and thank you all for being here to help cheer them on. So let's keep this energy going. So I'm gonna kick it back to Gabe. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamara, and thank you again for joining us to make those comments. We really appreciate it. All right, that was absolutely well stated. Again, of course, there's so much history behind everything that we do here. And of course, none of this would be possible without our sponsors. There's a Consumers Energy Foundation, there's Comerica Bank, and there's Schoolcraft College as well. They've all done absolutely amazing to help us here. Let's watch a video and hear a word from one of our biggest sponsors, Consumers Energy.
When you think about caring for your community, what comes to mind? Maybe it's improving education or encouraging workforce development, fighting hunger or eliminating homelessness, preserving the environment, or supporting the arts. Consumers Energy has been giving back to Michigan for well over a century, and since 1990, we have been helping local communities grow and thrive through the Consumers Energy Foundation. Last year, Consumers Energy, our charitable foundation, employees and retirees gave over $11 million to Michigan nonprofit organizations. We're investing in what's most important to Michigan, its people, our planet, and Michigan's prosperity. The Consumers Energy Foundation is committed to ensuring all Michigan residents thrive economically and have access to world-class educational resources. We're focused on creating grants that protect and strengthen the health and sustainability of our state's land, water, and air. And we're dedicated to ensuring Michigan's businesses and communities are growing with world-class resources. For more information on how the Consumers Energy Foundation is caring for our communities, visit consumersenergy.com/foundation.
Absolutely amazing. We couldn't appreciate them enough. And here with us this evening, actually, is Lauren Royston, who's from Consumers Energy. She's their Senior Community Affairs Manager in Oakland County. I'd like to let her to say a few words about their impact here in Michigan entrepreneurs. Welcome, Lauren. You enjoy listening to all the pitches?
I certainly have. Thank you for having me. Just good evening to everyone. I'm super excited to be here with you all and to see how the support that Consumers Energy Foundation has provided to Michigan Women Forward be brought to life. I mean, I know that tonight is the culmination of many efforts over the course of several months, and I truly do admire the courage and hard work of the finalists who identified a need, started, and grown their small business. Every story, every pitch was so compelling and very well executed. So I am honored to join you again as we celebrate the entrepreneurial talent that is represented here tonight. So it's just so inspiring to see how Consumers Energy's support for the Michigan Women Forward comes to life through this competition. And just to share that at Consumers Energy, we are dedicated to ensuring that Michigan businesses and communities are growing and thriving. And this includes creating opportunities for entrepreneurs who like to bring critical new ideas to the table and those who we are fortunate to see here this evening. So what we witness here reflects that commitment in action. So tonight marks the culmination of significant work. Entrepreneurs from across Michigan, I know they've spent months refining their business plans, working with their mentors, preparing their pitch, and their commitment reflects the strength and determination we associate with Michigan's small business community. So, Consumers Energy Foundation, we are proud of our long-standing support of Michigan Women Forward. For more than 3 decades, we have contributed over $2.5 million to MWF, primarily supporting the WomanUp and pitch competition and other essential programming. So our support for the MWF reflects a broader commitment to Michigan's female entrepreneurs and small businesses statewide. So we do believe in the power of women-led businesses to drive innovation and economic growth. So thank you all again to all the finalists for sharing your vision and your plans for your growth. Your preparation and hard work are evident, and they will carry you forward. You are making a meaningful difference in positioning our state for a strong, prosperous future. Congratulations to all of you, and I look forward to seeing your continued success.
Excellent. Well, Lauren, thank you so much. We really appreciate everything that you've been able to do here tonight and for being part of MWF and our work. And thank you again just to Consumers Energy Foundation as a whole. Without them, these competitions and so many other support services would not be possible. So we'll hear more from you later, but thank you for now. WomanUp and Pitch is a great process. It has been operating for 14 years now, which is hard to believe. And it's hard to truly appreciate the history and the impact that it has made on Michigan women entrepreneurs. In order to share some of that story, we have a special video of an interview with the previous program runner that some of you may remember, Elizabeth Drain, aka Ellie, as we know her here in the office, paved the way for what Pitch has become. Let's go ahead and take a moment and watch this video. Well, Ellie, thank you so much for joining us. You have been leading WomanUp and Pitch for an incredibly long time. You've really kind of set the standard for all of our virtual pitches. And I wanted to be able to sit down with you and kind of talk about your experience. Can you tell me, how long have you been running WomanUp and Pitch now?
Yeah, so I started with MWF in 2014. And at the time, the pitch was only happening in Southeast Michigan. So I do recall at one point going over there during my first year with MWF and watching it, kind of seeing how it goes and how it operates, because that was in preparation for, in 2015, we were going to do it for the first time in West Michigan. In 2017, another region was added, another competition in the Jackson, Michigan area, so kind of that mid-Michigan area. So then we went from 2 up to 3, and then the pandemic hit, right? COVID hit. And so in 2021, we started doing them virtually. So we were doing 3 competitions at the time: West Michigan, Southeast Michigan, and then the mid-Michigan. And then in 2022, we added the statewide food competition, virtual in its first year, unfortunately, because then we, had that, oh no, we want to sample. All of these sound way too good to not sample.
Yeah.
So then in 2023, we started doing that in person. And then just last year, so that would have been 2025, we had the addition of the Bay City region competition. So it's a lot of fun. Different businesses. Each year, the pitch has a different feel to it. You have a whole new group of people, 40 to 50 new finalists. And they're just, they each bring something different and something unique. And I will say it's really fun when our workshop facilitators, who've been doing this a very long time, say to me, every year we're just like so impressed. Like they just, the pitches get better and better and better. So, I think when you have kind of that external feedback too, that's a good thing. And you can really see how it's growing.
Yeah, absolutely. How have you kind of seen on a more descriptive level how the pitches have evolved over the years, whether it's the scale, the type of businesses, or just the confidence of the entrepreneurs themselves? Has there been any pattern you noticed?
Yeah, I would definitely say I think the confidence factor, and I think part of that too, just in the virtual environment, I think people are getting more and more used to using, the virtual platforms. And so I think the technology piece is something that entrepreneurs are getting more and more confident with. I also think that, the groups pitching now are at a slight advantage in that they can go back onto like our YouTube channel and check out previous years. And so I think they're, the very first group that did it, they had nothing to look at, nothing to compare it to.
Yeah. Any particular ones that have just kind of stuck with you after all this time for businesses?
Yeah, one that always comes to mind. This was several years ago, Southeast Michigan pitch competition, Paula Tutman with Zookit. I just remember her, we had tested ahead of time and, it was working and she had like a microphone and camera and she was kind of stepping away from it while she was pitching. And it was like, okay, it works, we're good. Well, of course, when it's her turn to get on and pitch, we lose her. And by that, I mean, we could still see her and hear her, but she could not hear us. And so it was just one of those in the moment, you're like, okay, we got to make this happen. And so and the platform we use, there's a chat function. And so I just chatted. I was like, we can see you. We can hear you. Start. And she was like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to start. And she did her pitch and nailed it, like that 3-minute mark, totally got it. And then the judges have questions, afterwards. And so I'm typing the judges' questions and she's reading them and answering them. I mean, just total pro in terms of, just rolling with the punches. And I was so impressed by that. Guess what? She ended up winning first place. I mean, so
That's great.
That's one of those just, unfortunately, anything can happen. And as best as we prepare, things can still happen. And so it's good when you're able, and I feel like entrepreneurs just have this ability to kind of pivot at a moment's notice and just go with the flow. So I thought that was a great testament to that. Some of the other ones I think that really stick out, just some fun reactions that we've had over the years because we do announce the winners live and I'm able to pull them into the stream. And it's a very sudden, basically they hear their name and boom, they're on camera. And so you get that very natural, fun reaction.
Mm-hmm. And, speaking of the pitches, after watching, at this point, hundreds of them, mm-hmm. What kind of separates, in your opinion, a good pitch from a great one?
I think preparation, passion, and knowing your numbers. So you can tell those that have prepared and practiced. And putting together a 3-minute pitch is not easy. It's not a lot of time. And so you need to be succinct. You need to make sure that you are incorporating everything that the judges are going to want to hear about, enough to convey your business to the judges and really to a larger audience as well. And so you can tell those who have practiced. So the preparation for sure. And with that also is, as you know, Gabe, the preparation of the technology too, because it may be, some people have worked with the platform before that we use and it's not a big deal. They're familiar, they know how to use it. Others haven't. And maybe they're, a little bit more uncomfortable with it. And so they've spent some more time just making sure that they're comfortable with even just the layout. Cause if something's more familiar, you do better typically, there's nothing like that fear there. So preparation is key.
Yeah, absolutely. And, if you could give every finalist who's pitching just one last piece of advice, like right before the timer starts and they begin, what would it be in that moment?
I think it's Nick Saban who says, trust the process. And so, how can you bring football into the pitch competition? Well, finalists, you have put in the work. You have prepared, so trust it. You know your business better than anybody. And that is going to come across in your pitch because, as I said, you've put in the work. You've put together that business plan. You have put together this pitch. I know you have practiced and rehearsed it so many times because you want to make sure you hit that 3-minute mark, right? So, just trust it. You've done it. Trust your training, and that will come through in your pitch.
Absolutely. And what do you hope really, what's kind of your best goal for what entrepreneurs can kind of take away from this experience? Besides, obviously, the big cash prize.
Something I would tell the entrepreneurs whenever we had our kind of get to know you meet and greet meetings was we can all agree that cash prizes are amazing and that's what we want, right? But I've heard some iteration of this my entire life, probably from my mother mostly, but something to the effect of, you will get out of something what you put into it, or what you get out of something directly mirrors the effort that you put into it. And I can't tell you how many times I have seen finalists who truly engage and want to make the most of the entire experience, because what people may not realize is it's not just the pitch itself. They are working with a coach. They're putting together a business plan. They are putting together this 3-minute pitch, and we have everyone go through a workshop to help them be able to do that. So in that workshop, a lot of times they're, kind of collaborating and working with other finalists. They get to meet other finalists that way. And so it's just like this whole process leading up to what the audience sees on the day of the pitch, right? And you can just show up to check a box and just kind of be there half-heartedly, or, you can really take advantage of the opportunity to meet other entrepreneurs, potentially in the same space as you, to interact with your coach, and so I have seen people do that. And some people have even said, I still to this day maintain contact with another finalist I met because we just totally hit it off and have been able to, just not just become friends, but like talk about business with one another. And I also know some people too have kept in contact with their coaches. To me, that's like why we do this. Yes, the money is great and that infusion of capital is fantastic, but those connections and the networks that you can form those are invaluable, really.
Now, as you're kind of like taking a bit of a step back from pitch, what kind of excites you most about where WomanUp and Pitch is headed next?
I think watching it grow even more. So over the last several years, we've introduced a couple more competitions with the statewide food competition with the Bay City region. And, I was still able this year to sort of track how many applications were coming in when the applications were open back in the fall. And I think we had the most that we have ever had submitted this year. So it's clearly something that word's getting around. People are finding out about it. They're interested and they want to be a part of it. And so I think to continue to see it grow, and with that too, it just the competition gets that much better. So it's when you have more and more businesses applying, they're kind of those applications and concept papers are like pushing each other to be better and better and better. And so I just think that's a win all around, really.
Absolutely. And, it can't be overstated just how much hard work you put into this, how much passion. There's an expression that I know is really common for research papers that build off one another, standing on the shoulders of giants as they continue to grow and expand. And you absolutely have been a giant in this program, just building something really amazing from the ground up in its way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And, Pitch Now is on its 14th annual year. And like you said, it's amazing to imagine what it could be like on its 24th. Yeah, it's absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate you creating all of this, setting kind of the standard for how great pitch can be, and also sharing all of your thoughts and experiences from the years past. Pardon me for being muted. As you guys saw, it's truly so much history. It can't be overstated how much Ellie has done to pave the way, how much MWF has done, and how much our sponsors, of course, have been able to carry us with Consumers, Comerica, and this year Schoolcraft, who is also new. So we absolutely thank them for everything they have done. And a quick reminder that WomanUp and Pitch is just one part of what MWF does all year long. We host events designed for entrepreneurs and women leaders across the state, including our WomanUp and Celebrate events. Our first one is April 30th, honoring exceptional female leaders in Southeast Michigan, followed by West Michigan WomanUp and Celebrate on June 9th, and Kalamazoo this September. And next month, we're kicking off our Power Hour webinar series. They're practical, high-impact conversations designed to equip women leaders with the insights and strategies to excel in their careers and communities in 2026. So if you want to stay in the loop, sign up for one or both of our newsletters at miwf.org/newsletters. There's Scale, which is for entrepreneurs, and there's Elevate for women leaders. You can see all of them below. All right, and next up is one of the most exciting parts. We're about ready to hear who all of the winners are. I'm going to show a quick video before we get ready to announce them, and then we will be all ready. All right. Well, that was great to see. So next up now, we're going to re-welcome Carolyn Casson, who's back with us. Hi, Carolyn.
Oh, I'm a wreck. I've just spent the last few minutes with the judges, and we've had something we never have had before. You'll hear about it very quickly. This has been a very exciting, it was, like 4 decimal points difference between some of these scores. It was, wow. What a great job our contestants did.
That's amazing.
Right.
And we'll also bring back Lauren here from Consumers. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
This is the most fun part of it all, right?
It is. It's so exciting.
Thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for being so generous to our contestants, because this makes all the difference for most of their businesses. So thank you. The moment that we've all been waiting for. Let's begin with the startup categories. What do you think, Lauren? You ready?
Okay. So for startup in 3rd place with a prize of, let's see if I can get that in the screen there.
Back up.
Back up. There we are.
Just put it on your face. That's right. That's perfect.
$2,500.
Okay.
$2,500.
Yes.
Well, this whole category was all with less than a point between all 3 of the top 3. So that's Regalie. Is that how you say it? Did I say it right? Did I say it right?
Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations. You did such a great job. I'm telling you, it was this was hard to you had to really know your math to go down and figure out how it was going. So thank you so much.
Congratulations.
We can't wait to hear all about how you succeed.
Excellent. Okay. And now moving into the startup 2nd place with a prize of $5,000.
Well, the 2nd place winner was the Heart Next Door.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. But it really, you all 3 did such a great job.
Congratulations, Tierney.
Thank you.
And?
Okay, here we are with the startup 1st place winner for a prize of $10,000.
Ellison Innovation LLC.
Congratulations.
Oh no, you're muted. We didn't get to hear that wonderful reaction.
Unmute.
Unmute. Let's hear how excited you are.
Yeah, tell us again. Start over.
I am trying not to cry.
Go ahead and cry.
Thank you so much.
I'm crying.
Thank you.
We're very proud of
you.
You did a great job.
And of course, and I want to remind all of our other finalists who didn't place, you still will be walking away with $500 courtesy of our partners that were able to support you. You all worked so hard. Congratulations to all of our startup finalists. You guys can all leave and have a great rest of your evening. Now, the next thing that we'll
Celebrate
do,
the job you did.
yeah, can't be stated enough. We're going to watch a very short video about one of our past finalists, actually, who went on to win and had an amazing experience, and then we'll be ready to announce the big established category. Let's watch.
I started about 12 years ago in Cedar Springs and had a small studio up there where I live, and it just kept growing and growing and growing, and we couldn't find a space big enough up in the Cedar Springs area. We now have this beautiful, huge location with 3 stage-sized rooms that offer plenty of space for our dancers to grow and our business to grow. Our plan is to grow our sensory-friendly program, which is one of the only in Kent County, and it's something that we're very passionate about. And when I found our amazing teacher, Emily Stahl, who has that training in both dance and her physical adaptive education, I couldn't have been more excited, because that is something that is not easy to find in the world of dance. And I just really wanted to be able to offer our philosophy at Evolve is everybody is included. Everybody is welcome, no matter your age, your experience, your abilities. We want everybody to feel like this is home in a comfort, safe space for them. Michigan Women Forward was a great asset. I have used their assistance in many areas, both with the microloan program, but also the Pitch Award grant that I won 2nd place 2 years ago for our sensory friendly program, to be able to offer that, accommodate those dancers with specialized equipment, hire a teacher that is very well qualified, and those children deserve just as much of a space to be free and have fun and use the arts to express themselves. And that is something that I wanted to find a safe space for them to do. Being a person who has grown up here my whole life and been in this area, not only myself, but multiple generations, this is hometown to me. I have lived here for 40 plus years. And so this is what's comfortable. And I want to bring that comfort to families. I want to bring that positivity in dance and fun and welcoming to everyone.
All right, now for the moment of truth for our established winners. You guys have all worked so incredibly hard. So thank you very much for being here.
Gabe, you're going to do the established first, or the audience choice, or?
Oh, let's do the established first.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, let's start it off with our established 3rd place winner with a prize of $2,500.
See how good you're getting at this? It's perfect. I can see it perfectly. All right. The 3rd place winner in the established category is Scott Elizabeth, LLC.
Oh,
Oh my God! Yay!
Congratulations. You did a great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Excellent.
Now, Lauren.
Okay, we're getting down.
Don't announce the 2nd place winners. Don't announce the 1st place winners, because this is the first time in 14 years of doing pitch competitions that we've ever had a statistical tie, because we take it out to 5 decimal points, and we had a statistical tie.
Really?
And the judges talked and decided that they could not choose one over the other. They said it was just, they both deserved to be 1st place winners. So there are 2. I'm gonna announce 2 names. Hold up both of those, because the only thing we could think of to do was to split the $15,000.
Okay.
And so we thought that was the fairest thing to do. But both of them are 1st place winners, because there's not a 1st and a 2nd place winner in this category. There are 2 1st place winners, and so that's what we're. So hold that $15,000 up, and
Okay.
I'll announce the 2 organizations that statistically tied 5 decimal points out, and the two groups are Urban Solace and The Next Wellness.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh my
Both of
gosh.
you.
I can't believe
Oh,
it. Congrats,
it was
Michelle.
amazing. I'm going to send you the score so you can see how hard it would have been. And it has never happened in 14 years. You are both first place winners.
That's
and
incredible.
We decided all we could do was combine the money and split it. So you'll both get $7,500.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so
you.
much. Truly.
We're counting on you because you're both first place winners. So we're counting on you both to soar.
Amazing.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations. You're both winners.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you too. Thank you so much. And you guys both did obviously such an amazing job. It's the first time in history.
Yeah. And we put on a lot of pitch competitions. 14 years times two. So we started out with just 2 competitions, then we went to 3, 4, and now we're at 5. So that's add up all those. That's a lot. And you broke the mold tonight by both of you just being so good, and the judges would not pick. they said they're both number 1, and they both deserve to be crowned the first place winners.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So be proud of that. Celebrate tonight.
Thank you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And again, to all of our finalists who did not place in the established category, you still will be walking away with $500. You did absolutely amazing, and you, of course, deserve it. And now, last but not least, I think it's time we announce our Audience Choice winner.
Okay. So for the Audience Choice, we have a prize of $1,000.
We're all going to the movies at the Detroit Movie Theater.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I can't wait to welcome you.
Congratulations. We can't wait.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you, friends and family and mom and dad.
That's fantastic.
I appreciate you voting. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Thank you. We're so happy to hear it, and we'll look forward to the red carpet when it gets rolled out.
All right. I love it.
We'll be there.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. That was such an amazing night. I can't believe that we made history with 2 finalists for first place. That's
Nobody was
incredible.
more surprised than I, and I've been at every single one of these. So this is it's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. I just want to say a last few words before we we'll hand it off to you, Carolyn.
Okay.
Before we move on, I just want to spotlight one of the most powerful ways that Michigan Woman Forward honors impact, and that's the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame. Just like our finalists, who we really honored and created a great legacy for today, since 1983, this has been the pinnacle of recognition for extraordinary women who shaped our state and changed our history. There's trailblazers like Rosa Parks, Aretha Franklin, alongside hundreds of others whose stories deserve to be remembered. And if you know a woman whose legacy includes breaking barriers, giving back, and making a lasting difference in Michigan, you can help ensure her story is honored. Nominations for 2026 Michigan Women's Hall of Fame are now open, with inductees celebrated at an awards reception, which is going to be in October of 2026. You can nominate a contemporary or historical trailblazer by completing the nomination form at miwf.org/nominate-her. That's miwf.org/nominate-her. So we encourage you to help make sure her story is never forgotten. Just wanted to share that important message. And Carolyn, I'll leave it to you.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching tonight. Thank you again, Lauren. You've been with us from the very beginning. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Consumers Energy. Go out and turn up your heat tonight to say thank you. and to Comerica Bank, who joined us this year, and Schoolcraft College. Thanks to the behind the scenes people. You saw Gabe, but he has a whole team of people behind the scenes that have helped prepare for this, that have been supportive, that have helped me count the scores over and over again because we didn't want to ever make a mistake. So it takes a village to put this on. If you enjoyed tonight, please stay tuned the same time next Tuesday, February 10th, for our West Michigan competition. Have a great evening, and we'll see you all in just 1 week.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Good night.